Hello, 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 and welcome to Star Trek Lost Voyages. I am the GM Tim, and with me is my, as always, illustrious crew, and we are going to get right into it. USS Haida, you have a ship in tractor beam over the planet Valdez 4, and you are holding them here so they don't break the blockade that you are a part of. So no ship is still allowed to be able to leave Valdez 4, and you've got them in a tractor beam. They have not responded to hails up to the point where you've got them in a tractor beam. Captain Zanny, your go.
Any further communication? Let's resend the hail
whatsoever.
What's the name of the What's the name of the ship?
The USS Manly.
USS Manly. Open all channels. USS Manly, this is Captain Devin Zanny of the USS Haida. Power down your ship. You're in violation of the Federation quarantine. We need to scan your vessel and ensure that the virus is not aboard your ship. If it is, we will have to quarantine you along with the rest of the sector. Please respond.
For the record, Sam, no ship is to leave, regardless of whether you scan them or not.
Fair enough.
There is no response. Sarah, you see the back, kind of like the door bays open, and you see several small objects kind of like released from the bay doors, and the tractor beam is sucking them in really quickly there.
Sarah, it looks like we're bringing in something pretty quick. Does it look like they're coming out of their cargo bay there?
Skwxwu, you want to make a sensor sweep?
Please do.
Yes.
Yeah, Skwxwu, there are antimatter mines.
Captain, they are mines.
Disengage tractor beam. Target those mines.
If you disengage tractor beam, you're going to lose the ship. But you could shoot them while keeping the tractor beam on.
That's what I wanted to do. Oh, I wanted to shoot the mines. I want to shoot the mines.
Yeah, okay. Luther, can I get a shot on the mines, please?
Luther or Yasikov?
Yasikov is not here. She's still on the other ship.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I got a sandwich.
It's like a Jedi voice.
Luther just has
I believe in you.
Shit. Tucks it in his little cubby underneath the desk.
Okay.
Use the force.
Why
is my nose bleeding?
I got 2 successes.
2 successes. That's a hit. The mines kind of like just... So, Luther, you do some nice clean shots. Excuse me. You get some nice clean shots, and it just kind of like picks off a bunch of them. And it hits the explosions kind of radiate out, and as they do, the tractor beam does drop anyways.
Luther, target their propulsion system. I want them dead in the water.
Luther, you're having sort of some system overloads as you're going. You're going to have to recalibrate in order to see through the sensors first.
These mines have done something to our sensor, sir.
And also, Sam, do you really want to shoot at a Federation starship?
Yeah. They're violating quarantine and firing mines at us. Yes. I think I have probable cause to put them dead in the water.
Fair enough. Just throwing that out there.
No, I appreciate that. Considered it. They haven't responded to hails. I'm under the assumption that they've been taken over by something, so I don't want to destroy it because that would be very bad. But I don't want them going anywhere. Our tractor beams down?
Yes.
Sarah, make sure you match course with that ship. We're not letting them get away.
Got it, sir.
Okay, Sarah, can I get a piloting roll? They are doing some invasive maneuvers and heading for the asteroid field that surrounds that's in the system.
Okay. So I'm going to roll control and con.
Yeah.
Would you like the ship to support? I guess not.
Nice. You're
think
able
I
to,
got it.
You're able to keep up. It does not generate momentum. You're able to keep up. But they are going to make it to the asteroid field before you're going to be able to lock that tractor beam back on. Doug, I don't remember your... what's your other character's name? I'm so sorry.
Lieutenant Herb.
Herb, right. And Herb is on the bridge right now. So we're going to put Herb at the science station, or the navigation station, I think. Like basically Data's station, that sort of ops area. And to counter off Sarah. So you two can roll with each other to balance each other off. So Sarah can do the navigating, or the steering, literally. And you can navigate and help with like sensor kind of stuff beyond just science that Sofek can do. Sofek currently on the bridge, it would be Captain Zanny and then you as far as command goes. Without Yezikov, Gurkhan would be left in charge should Zanny have to leave the ship. But in bridge protocols at the moment, you're in charge. After Zanny. I'm just kind of...
I don't like how that's foreboding anything.
Some slight foreshadowing.
just a little. Okay. Okay, so they have made it into the asteroid field, and we're gonna go to our intro. Okay, so you've entered the minefield.
Minefield?
Sorry, the asteroid field. I'm so sorry. How did we get here? You've entered the asteroid field surrounding in the think like asteroid field like our system. The Terran system has the asteroid field that's kind of like in between some of the planets. Same concept. You've entered the asteroid field. It's pretty dense. It's a good mix of some smaller and much larger. Like there's some that are kilometers long, but lots of smaller ones. Sarah, it's going to slow you down. Your ship is about twice the size of theirs. You're going to have to pull back, and they're going to get ahead of you. But there's only so far they can go. Like, once they leave the asteroid field to try and warp out of here, they're definitely you're gonna catch them. So it's almost if you want, you can make an insight and con to try and figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, to like figure out where they're going.
Yeah, and get the vibes out.
Extrapolate their trajectory.
There you go.
Fuck. Fuck. What's our determination, Sam?
Your determination is maintain the quarantine. Sorry. Hold the line and don't fire on a Federation ship.
Lol.
Well, we haven't done it yet.
I know.
So I'm gonna use hold the line, and re-roll that 20.
And I would like to point out that I did not say that the Prime Directive is one of your determinations tonight. One of your directives.
That is 4 successes.
4 successes. Nicely done. Okay. So you got a momentum. Would you like to do something with it? You're going to be able to maintain. You're going to be able to maintain your speed, or their path. They are definitely trying to just evade you and lose you within the asteroids. I don't know why I keep saying mines. I'm so sorry. However,
I
They're
don't
throwing
trust you.
mines at
yeah,
us.
no, I promise I'm not. So,
Foreshadowing.
with this momentum, you could use it to catch up with them again if you want to.
I mean, like, can I do something super cool? Like, if we could see the other side of the asteroid field, I want to do a Picard maneuver and get out in front of them.
It's up to your captain, not me.
Hey, Captain.
I will tell you that you know
Yeah.
that doing that jump, that kind of a jump in an asteroid field,
Yeah.
is more risky than even the regular Picard maneuver would be.
Okay.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be able to just, like, use my momentum to do that?
No, you're trying to warp through an asteroid field. That is
And
that is hard.
That is a
Okay, all right.
choice.
that is a choice.
That is a
Okay.
choice.
All right, fine. Fair. I'm
You
just
can do
going to
it. I'm
catch
just
up
saying
to
it's
them
got,
then.
okay.
Yeah, no, it's too early for me to fuck up the ship. Too bad.
Okay.
We got 4 nacelles. We can spare one of them.
Yeah.
So they are over. They have ducked behind a 16-kilometer asteroid, Valdez 267, and Sofek. Would you like to do sensor reading on anything, or Herb? Feel free to throw in ideas. I'm basically going to just start like. I will feed you stuff, but I'd rather you guys kind of come up with things. Excuse me, come up with things you can do.
Food.
Captain, I recommend shooting a probe on one side of the asteroid while we circle around the other to help prevent them from evading us.
Noted. Herb, are we able to put some sort of tracker, course tracker on them so that we can't lose them once we start flushing them out?
Yeah, probably scanner thing. Yeah.
Scannerly. I would say that
I'm just a botanist. I took over somebody's shift today, so I don't know what's really going on.
This is what I get for the allowing swaps. Anyways, okay. You keep doing a good job, Herb. Sofek, same question. What can you do with that probe to make sure we don't lose them?
Literally that. You could use it as exactly as your, like, it'll double up your sensors. It'll lower the difficulty of being able to track them if they try and make a run for it.
Great, approved. Do it.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to launch a probe.
Okay, great. So I just want to confirm you're launching the probe from like this side and you're coming in on this side, right? Pincer them behind. Okay.
Basically making it so they don't bring around the Rosie the asteroid with us.
All right. Yep. Nice.
Oh, there's even a thing for launching probes.
Also, if it's figuring that out, Herb, side question. What kind of botany do you do, and do you have any background in virology?
So apparently for launching probes, I literally just press a button. They're probe launched.
Sarah, coordinate with Sofek to go around the other side of the asteroid so we can flush them out. Herb, still pending that question.
Yeah.
I mean, xenobotany, chemistry, and research. That's my thing.
Nope.
Glad to have you on board, Herb.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So you managed to get the ship kind of like into position. Pardon me. Luther, do you want to try your tractor beams?
The tractor beams have been repaired.
I'm going to assume that they have been prepared enough that you can try it again. Gurkhan is an efficient crew person.
Yeah.
Luther, if you can think of any way of that tractor beam disabling their engines while you do it.
That's going to require a Gurkhan roll.
I can do this, Captain. I'm good at this, but I'm not Gurkhan good. pew pew the. That's what he says. That is one success and one critical failure.
Okay.
So
All right, so you do manage to land a hit on them. So it's they've been connected again, but you can see that it's straining. If they put any more power into it, you're going to have to add in some auxiliary tractor beams, which like you've got your Augs power and you can do it.
Captain, the magnetic makeup of this asteroid seems to be interfering with the tractor beam.
Ooh, nice.
Stand by and tractor beam in that case. We're going to have to flush him out of this asteroid field.
Well, you've got your.
I do have them
on.
locked, Captain.
Yeah.
It's just
blocked?
it's going to be we're working extra hard at it.
Well, then we're going to want to drag them out of this asteroid field. Anybody got any ideas on how to get us more power so we can lock them down?
Sorry.
I mean, Gurkhan's in engineering. You could ask him, Captain.
They've just released additional mines.
Well, we can use the tractor beam, but I'd rather not. But
Luther,
Mm-hmm.
the shields on your ship. I mean, they could probably take these mines. It would suck.
Yeah.
But you could probably, like, without having to shoot and lose the beam again, you could probably just take the hits and be able to hold your own with that.
Captain, the yield on these mines does not appear sufficient to breach our shields.
Well, they just
I can always try dodging them.
While they're attached on the tractor beam?
Oh, no.
Yanking
Like you
that'd
could,
be like
So
wrestling a
essentially-
steer while wrestling your horse at the same time.
Yeah, essentially what's happening is the tractor beam itself has latched onto the ship, and the mines are launched in the beam. So the tractor beam
Right.
is sucking them in faster.
We
Fine.
can take it,
Let him
Captain.
hit his shield, Sofik. While they're doing that, can you see if you can estimate how many mines are on that ship? I want to know how long they can keep this up.
Of course, Captain. I could also attempt to rig the deflector dish to send a communication pulse to their vessel. We can attempt to circumnavigate their security systems and initiate shutdowns of some of their systems.
Their
like
their impulse engines have just gone to full.
Do it quickly.
Everyone roll a fitness and security, please, as the antimatter mines hit the shields.
Like a rock.
And then
That's because you have a
Gurkhan
chair
engineering.
with a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Gurkhan might have taken a tumble.
Okay, Gurkhan and Sarah, you're both going to take 2 stress.
Oh.
Devin, you're going to put 2 momentum into the pool, unless you would like to somehow use one of those. I don't know how in this case, but
Yeah, I don't think I can roll across the thing and hold Sarah in place.
no, that'd be
He,
awesome.
he throws his couch pillow behind her head before she hits the ground.
I guess I'll just bank
Do I
those
want to
for
ask
now.
how much stress I'm taking
So if I got
with
0.
my big fat goose
Oh,
eggs?
Sofek, you're taking 4 stress.
Yep.
Yep, your shields are at 50%.
We have 2 momentum in the pool.
There are 3 momentum in the pool.
All right, so
This is-
since this is an obvious combat situation, Gurkhan's going to pull a Geordie and make his way to the bridge.
Okay.
I would also like to, out of the book, it's called, I'd like to rally because we just got a hit. It's just a present command task with difficulty 0 to generate some further momentum. And I will tell my crew effectively that we will not allow any ship to leave this quarantine. We are a skilled crew. We've done worse. We've been through worse than this.
We've done
We're gonna
worse.
figure out
We have done worse.
done worse.
Hey,
And we will ensure that whatever is affecting that ship, we will find a solution in a Federation way.
Stofek's wondering how hard he hit his head.
hey, Herb.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not 100% because it is kind of like out of your element. You're just kind of like literally filling a station. You're fairly sure that ship is powering up its warp engines.
Not good. That'll pull our tractor beam with it.
In a tractor beam, it'll turn the ship into a smear across space.
It'll destroy
Not
that.
yours, theirs.
It'll destroy that ship. Yeah.
Do serious damage to yours.
Kamikaze.
Sofek, how fast will you be able to? I look at him, a little green on his face. Grab him. How fast can you get in through their security and disable those sport drive?
I'll endeavor to be as quick as I can, Captain.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay, Sofek, give me a check.
Hey,
Use
what am
that
I?
determination.
Yeah. What am I rolling?
I think you're going to be rolling daring in science in this case, or because you're using computers. Yeah, daring in science. You're trying to hack their system, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tim, from my speech, I generated 2 additional momentum.
Okay. Do you want to use any of the momentum that's in the pool, Sofek?
Yes, I'm also going to use a determination of, I think, maintain the quarantine.
Okay.
So Sam generated 2, so we have 5 right now.
There are 5. Yeah.
I'm going to use 3
Okay.
with my focus in computers.
Okay.
So that's
5
7.
successes. 7 successes. Okay. So that generated 3 momentum.
God.
Their systems were changed. It is not Federation standard anymore. Still Federation, but they've changed the command codes. You're not able to shut down the ship, but you can force a communication now. You can basically turn on their screen and force them to talk to you.
better than nothing. Boop. On screen, Captain.
Thank you, Sofek. Who's the captain of the ship? Who am I talking to? This is Captain Zanny of the USS Haida.
You see somebody kind of like turn around, and you see a Vulcan with Lieutenant Commander Pips.
Lieutenant Commander.
Lieutenant
Your
Commander
ship-
Strawn.
Lieutenant Commander Strawn. Your ship is trapped in our tractor beam. Going to warp, you would understand, is an
In fact,
illogical...
sir, I've resigned my commission. I'm no longer with Starfleet.
Fine. Regardless, you're still Vulcan, and you should logically know that if you go to warp while in our tractor beam, your ship will not only be destroyed, it'll basically be smeared across a sector of space. Please power down your warp engine.
Be it dead here, sir, or dead there.
Dead? Why would you be dead?
Sir, I'm in communications. I've been receiving communications into the sector for the last 4 months. I know what you know, sir.
Right. In any case, you should know that everyone's working on a path to avoid the potential incoming catastrophe, and until that point of no return, you should still endeavor to survive.
So
Not
he
logical?
so he just kind of like stares at you, and very quickly glances to the side and just says, "Attend me," and then holds up his 2 fingers, and a human female, pregnant, walks in and touches his 2 fingers the same way that a married Vulcan couple would.
Congratulations.
We're leaving the system, sir.
You are not leaving the system, and I would hazard not to have to do this, but we will disable your engines if need be. We'd rather not come to that outcome.
The result is certain death. And as he says that, you can see, like, Sofek, there's a brief moment where you actually notice, like, Vulcan displays of emotion are, like, subtle at best to human eyes. But you see what's almost kind of like anger.
Let's see. I would like to diffuse the tension as my skill and take a little role here to make them see reason if we can, and say, for the good of your child, your unborn child, please disable your warp engines and we can figure this out together.
To return to quarantine, is to give ourselves over to a painful death. And she closes her eyes. Says, either way. Either you'll release us from the tractor beam, or we die quickly. Either way, we'll be free.
Sofek's gonna pipe up and say, Lieutenant Commander, I question whether or not you are of sound mind while making these decisions.
Ask your captain how sound of mind I am. And then he reaches forward and hits a console panel. The engine overloads.
Oh boy. So we just lost.
I need everyone to make another fitness and security roll, please, as the shockwave hits your ship.
Good for both of them, I think. I hope.
0
2
for
successes
1.
on each one.
I just got 1.
Okay, Sofek and Zanny, 2 stress. Sarah, 2 stress.
It's at 5 you pass out, right?
5 and 1 attack.
5 in 1 hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never had to worry about it with Yesikov.
The ship tried to enter warp.
Not gonna let that ship explode.
Oh,
Release the
boy.
tractor beam, go to warp, and follow them.
No.
It already did.
it
That's
did?
why we
It
already
that
did.
was-
That was the
had that
shockwave.
stress. Yeah.
Well, we didn't fire on them. Shit.
Ship's therapist is going to be busy this week.
Luther is like, as disturbing as that was, Captain, it was the right choice. We could not let this disease get out and kill more.
I understand that, Luther, but not everybody may feel the same way as you or I, or I'm guessing Sofek.
Nicely done,
Sofek,
Luther.
Sofek, scan the wreckage for anything usable.
Dust.
There are no fragments left of significant size, Captain.
Damn. Sarah, we set our course to our previous position. We have to maintain the quarantine.
Got it, sir.
I'll be in my ready room, logging a report to Starfleet. Anybody who needs to take a minute, you are permission granted. I'll step off for a second. Let everybody, if they need to take a minute, they can take a minute.
Okay.
It was rough even for us.
Did our best, sir.
Sarah's like, you need a hug?
I just kind of put my hand like on the chair behind her and just go, I know, Sarah. You did.
Yeah, if you read Luther's emotions, he's seething with rage over this.
Nice.
It's like, that man killed his wife. We didn't do anything. He killed his wife. And unborn child.
Yeah.
That's in Luther's mind right now, if Zanny's listening in.
I can
Nothing
feel
about
a
the
lot
crew being wrong.
I can feel a lot of things going around right now. That's why everybody's getting 5 as we transit, or getting some leave as we transit back to our previous position.
Yeah, so you can set up the basically it's a pretty autopilot scenario to get back into position. What does everyone want to do? So Zanny, I'm gonna kind of keep you. You've already established what you're doing.
Yeah. Right now, I'm screaming into the void of my reading room.
I mean, that's okay. That's why we made it. Yeah, that's why we made it soundproof. What about everyone else? Is everyone gonna cope, or are people gonna like what do you want to do?
Sofek's going to sick bay. He hit multiple consoles.
Like a fucking pinball.
There.
Gurkhan
3
meets him
times
there.
multiplier. What?
Gurkhan meets him there, but Gurkhan didn't witness any of this that had happened, so he doesn't know why people are sad.
Yeah, you know that something big exploded outside the ship.
Yeah, he's upset about having to repair it.
Sarah goes down to sick bay with, because I'm also bleeding from a head wound, and she just gives Gurkon a pat on the chest. That was a tough one, big guy.
I would ask what happened, Sarah, but I do not wish to know.
Yeah, I think it's for the best. You got your hands full up there, that's for sure. This
He's
guy
he's
bumped around a
joining you
few
in
things.
he's joining you in med bay because he's got a nice big gash too.
Yeah.
Like another scar.
All right, Doug, time to patch this up. Also,
In
do you have any
line.
of those cherry lollipops left?
Absolutely.
Yes. You're the best, man.
Does Doug have secret Klingon flavors?
It's the red
Gurkon?
ones.
Like blood? You want a
Yes.
blood lollipop? Sure.
Gah, lollipop.
Oh.
But still moving.
That's just gash on a stick.
And Luther's
Correct.
going to. I guess Luther's staying on the bridge.
Since like literally everybody left.
This is Luther and Herb left on the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herb is sending a text message to his friend whose ship he took. He's like, never again.
Luther's looking over the tractor beams and he's like, if I just held it that first time, they wouldn't have gotten away. So he's trying to recalibrate it.
Is Luther feeling a little bit of guilt?
You know, I mean, it's not guilt. It's more like he didn't do his job well enough.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, it wouldn't have happened in the first place. The tractor beams had held.
Fair enough.
Dr. Doug wants to go talk to Captain Zanny.
Okay.
I just want to figure out what's going on because they said that they were worried about dying. And as far as I know from Starfleet Medical, this is not a fatal disease to humanoids.
Oh. No, but... Oh, so we're in the reading room then, I assume.
Yes, just the two of you. So the three of you are about to get possible information that your characters absolutely 100% do not know anything about. Carry on, Matt.
Yeah. So he was saying that they were worried about dying, but as far as I know, this is not fatal to humanoids at all. This is only fatal to plants.
Is there a chance, Doug, that could have mutated?
It's very possible. But as far as Starfleet has told me, none of the major Federation species have anything to worry about. We can be carriers, but we're asymptomatic.
So to give you, sorry, I might have not prefaced this properly with the information I gave you guys earlier. That's off camera. Sorry, everyone. So the station that you're surrounding, it was built for 60 people. It currently has 1,400 refugees.
Oh, okay. Well, that.
And systems are starting to exactly. Yeah.
Oxygen.
So.
Well, yeah.
Systems and resources are starting to fail.
Well, I was going to say, Dr. Doug, that it may not be a problem of us not dying from the virus itself, but dying from starvation. That's a real threat, and if we can't.
I mean, we are Starfleet. We have replicators. Why can't we just send one of those down?
Well,
You've sent everything you actually can off the ship. You no longer have any industrial replicators, and so are the other ships in the blockade. There is nothing else to send down.
The thing is, if we just can't, even in the blockade, even for that ship that die, and if it spreads across the sectors, we may not be able to make replicators fast enough. Many worlds still rely on agriculture. Beta Z was one of them to bring in the needed food stores. On top of that, replicators are very power hungry. So the amount of dilithium that were required to be mined is unimaginable to support trillions of life forms. This virus gets out of this sector, it could be disastrous beyond reckoning. But right now, Doctor, I think we need to focus on maintaining both the mental and physical health of the crew. I'm sensing that Luther might need a bit of a pep talk. I'll take care of that one if you want to attend to the rest of them.
Sure.
Okay.
Anything else, Doctor?
That's all I got.
I appreciate your candor. That's an Easter egg for anybody. That one. I'll go talk to Luther for a sec. I can sense he's really bummed out.
Oh yeah, I guess you see Luther twiddling with the tractor beams and going over the sensor logs of the mines and stuff.
Is Luther a lieutenant?
He is a chief petty officer,
He's chief.
so technically he is Chief Luther.
Chief.
Chief.
Moment.
Yes, sir.
I know what you're going through, and there's nothing you could have done. You need to reconcile that. That man was willing to go to war while already in a tractor beam. It's not your fault.
Luther goes, I'm not as upset about what he did. I'm upset about failing. He knocks his metal leg and he goes, this is what happens when I fail.
Well, sometimes you can do everything right, still lose. A friend told me that. It's not weakness, it's life.
Sir.
Okay.
Squared away.
I don't know who else got that, but I'm damn impressed. Yeah, nicely done, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Squared away. Screw me, sir.
Screw me, Chief. I'll go back to writing my report. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get back in position.
You're back in position, but you can be in your ready room doing exactly what you're doing. That's fine.
Cool. I don't know what everybody else is doing at the moment. How they're going to go to them for a sec.
I got
Yes.
a bandage on my forehead. I've got a red sucker, and I'm also giving blood while I'm down there. Beep boop, just bopping along, or plasma or whatever is needed. Oh, while I'm down here.
Gerkant, I guess, back in engineering, getting damage control teams ready, muttering to himself about, it's going to take so much longer than before.
Oh, now Sopek's probably gotten bandaged enough. He's going to go back up to the bridge, and he's going to pull up files, what files there are on Lieutenant Commander Strawn.
Okay, great. Give me a reason and science. Doing computer check.
Since we have a lot of momentum, I will use one.
Sure. We got 2. Oh no, we have more, don't we?
Yep,
At 5, I
We
think.
got 5. Well, 4 now, but yeah.
I got a 4.
6. So. All right.
I maxed out momentum.
Yeah. I sent you what you learned.
Come on, drag window.
You might want to take that directly to the captain.
Yep, I'm gonna go make the chime at the captain's door.
Enter. I'm never going to finish this report.
Captain, when have you ever finished reports?
More than you know, but they go to the Admiral, the only one I care about reading them. What can I do for you, sir?
Touché, Captain. I've brought up information regarding Lieutenant Commander Strawn. He apparently was not assigned to Halona Station. There is no record of him being assigned to any of the earlier relief missions. And not assigned to communication, since the station was brought online 3 years ago. In all of Starfleet, there are only 9 Vulcans with Strawn as the given name. Closest one is 300 light years away.
So how did the person that we saw on that ship, could it have been someone else using the name? Or do they even exist at all?
Or it was a Strawn, but he was never one who was ever in Starfleet.
Yet he was wearing a Starfleet uniform.
Could be part of the ruse that got him in control of the vessel. There's one other thing, Captain. Vulcans, as a rule, do not commit suicide.
Yeah, that surprised me too. Logically, he should not have done that. So, what's your conclusion?
Either somehow something affected his logical judgment, or he was not Vulcan.
And he was terrified of whatever was spreading even further, dying here or dying there. He saw it was futile.
The entire crew collectively hears in Yesikasa's voice, Romulans!
He's Romulan blood.
It is also possible, Captain, that if he is not Vulcan, he simply lifted the identity of Astron from Starfleet records and simply had cosmetic surgery to alter his appearance.
Oh,
He didn't actually look like any of the Strons on file.
He could have been a racist and just thought Vulcans look like every other Vulcan.
I was gonna say, Starfleet just racist. One
Yeah.
point of view is the other point of view. Green-blooded
conclusion-
hobgoblin.
So the biggest conclusion we have here, Sophic, is he wasn't a Vulcan. And
That is one hypothesis.
that means they could have, whoever that was part of an infiltrator onto that space station. They may actually, and whoever did that may have knowledge of the virus. I am picking at straws here, but if he was part of a team meant to destabilize this sector, to draw dwindling Starfleet resources away from another part of the Federation. Just to clarify, the Dominion War is still going?
It's over. It's been over for a few
It's over.
months. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. I remember now. But we're still, it's only been a few months where Starfleet is still not at full strength. If they're
Oh,
trying to pull,
it's going to be years before Starfleet is back up to strength. Decade.
so if they're trying to pull all of our resources in over here to quarantine this, that could lead to a bigger threat from somewhere else and leave the Federation weak elsewhere. So in fact, I think we need to have what I like to call a council meeting. I think we need to bring this information to the conference room 2. Get our crew's input on this. See if we can come up with a plan.
Okay.
Good work.
With that, you know what we're going to do is that's actually a good spot to take our break. So we're going to take we're actually on time. We're going to take our break.
We could faff around for a bit if you want.
I'm sure we'll do that
tin
enough
foil.
later. Yeah,
I think we were talking about that last.
Sarah decides to finally pull off the Picard maneuver just for fun.
Shouldn't space. That's what.
Okay.
Practice.
Unfortunately, there's no other
Practice
ships
makes
around to
perfect.
see it.
So we're gonna go to our break. We'll be back in 10 minutes, and we'll probably go into the conference room. So we'll see you in a few minutes, everybody. All right. And we are back. Did I unmute? Nope.
Tim, are you being pretty again?
There we go. Now I'm totally pretty. Yep. We're back and I unmuted. Hooray. And you are in the conference room. And so you're in the conference room. To give a little bit of recap for anyone who's just joining us, welcome to Star Trek Lost Voyages. It's been an intense episode. It's probably our most intense so far. They are surrounding Valdez 4. They're in a blockade. The ship is part of a blockade for Valdez 4. And the USS Manly just tried to break blockade. Its commander, a Lieutenant Commander Strawn, a Vulcan, just put the ship to warp while it was in a tractor beam, rather than going back into the quarantine. And the crew has slowly been kind of like researching. There's no Strawn on record at the station, and so the captain has called for a conference, and that's where we're at. We're in the conference room.
Great. I'm glad everyone's here. Sofek, if you could regale us with things that you have found about our previous encounter.
Of course, Captain. Yeah. Sofek's just going to reiterate what he passed on to the captain earlier, that there are 9 Vulcans named Strawn in Starfleet. The closest one is 300 light years away. And also, he forgot to mention the captain is also 160.
Is that like old for Vulcan?
That's pretty old.
Late
Don't you-
middle age.
Don't you fellas live a long
Yeah.
time?
That'd
Also,
actually be
why am I
Spock's
here,
age.
Chief?
That'd be Spock's
Oh.
age.
Yeah. Well, that also being said, it has come to my attention that Strawn and his partner have arrived at Halona Station. Yeah.
Well, no.
They-
Let me. So I sent you information, but so the point is somehow
How? Yeah.
Strawn and his partner arrived at this station and then managed to steal a ship and get off of it without anyone knowing who they are.
Yeah. Thank you. I was getting there.
Yeah, that was the point. Not that they're there now. It's that somehow they managed to get there and get off without somebody going, "Who are you?" Luther, I sent you a little bit of information that might.
However,
Mhm.
they got around. It's
Well, I mean, Captain, when they cram 1,400 people into a station meant for 60, there's going to be some lapses in security.
lapses in securities. Yes, but to a dead person or one that doesn't exist.
Nice.
I can't speak for the nature of the station, Captain, but I mean, based upon the research that they're doing, they might not even had a large security detail.
That's a good point. The point is, this Strawn has somehow also broken quarantine. In some fashion. So I have a feeling that we need to not only alert Starfleet, but we may have to find this person ourselves. But we also can't leave quarantine. So, any suggestions?
We could cross-reference any arriving vessels to the station. I imagine this Strawn, whoever they were, did not magically appear out of thin air. He must have arrived somehow.
So, okay. Do you think there's a possibility there was another ship en route in our sector that they could have transported to? Could you work with your con on that theory to see if it was plausible and possibly find from the previous ship's location what ship they could have transported to, if it was at all possible?
We could also review the sensor logs of the time and see if there were any transporter spikes as the vessel jumped to warp.
I like it. Let's do that. Ross, Dougie, is there anything you would like to share about the issues with transporters and our potential quarantine with our crew right now?
Well, it won't. The biofilters in the transporter won't pull it out. It actually connects to your DNA, so we would have to extract all of your DNA out during transport to make it completely safe.
In other words, vaporize you, right? That's pretty much.
You'd live for probably about 3 or 4 seconds before you melted.
Literally.
Oh, he was a pediatrician. Previous life, he was a pediatrician.
Beagle has an idea.
Eagle?
Yeah. What if we didn't? What if they if they got onto the place somehow, maybe they got off of the place still.
You mean at the station?
Well, maybe they're gone. Maybe they got off. Like, we saw a warp explosion.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's all we saw.
Yeah. Isn't that why we're tracking down the transporter theory? Or
Right, but we didn't check out the asteroid at all. We just scanned for life signs and left.
Luther looks shocked. He goes, "There was a strange magnetic field coming from that asteroid, sir. That was messing with our
tractor beam. So you think that
Maybe they didn't hide behind that asteroid by chance.
maybe they're in that asteroid, sir? Stranger things have happened. The USS Pegasus.
Yep. Do we have that probe? Is that probe still sitting there? Sofek?
Should be, Captain. The probes have a very long lifetime.
You think we could use
I
that
see the
to-
GM didn't think about that, did
Do
he?
you think we could use that to scan that asteroid?
Yeah, we
Figure out
could.
if what's there?
And no, he didn't.
Nice probes.
We release the random probes constantly just to screw with the GM.
Very well. We have our course of action. Sofek, tell me what's in that asteroid, and then we'll take the course from there. Meeting adjourned. Beagle, good input as always. High five.
Beagle's got a huge grin on his face. He's got a high five by the CO. Like, I like you when Yazakov's not here, sir.
I like me too.
Sofek leans over to Gurkhan and
I lean
says,
in and I'm
"We
like,
have to figure out how he keeps getting into these conferences."
I honestly don't know why I was here.
Is he considered senior
Who's
staff?
flying? Who's flying the ship?
There's nobody on the bridge except for Herb right now.
pretty
Luther's
much.
in here too. Or was the door just left open
Well,
and Luther was yelling in?
Gurkhan's in engineering. He can still take over.
Gurkhan probably would have even been in command. So the reason you held a bridge call for all the people who were there. Like the point was is that you guys all knew certain things, so it's not unusual to have that.
Like we dropped a probe.
Yeah, like you dropped a probe.
Dr.
Speaking of the probe, shall we do a check? You got some momentum, by the way. I'm sorry, I totally forgot to place that down here. Let's get that.
Scan from the probe. What?
You have 4 momentum, so if you want to use one of them,
I
you're
will.
welcome to.
So, yeah, I'm going to activate tight beam communication with the probe.
Using
And
1 momentum, 2, 3. How many?
1.
1. All right.
I don't like how you asked that.
One momentum.
Reason science?
Reason science, correct.
Ooh.
Wow. Wow. All right. Well, you just put 2 back into the pool. Well, nah, it's not technically true. You have 2 to use. So the probe is still active. The asteroid is a.
You're feedbacking.
That's what
Just
you're hearing from the
mute
probe.
yourself for a second. Yeah.
That's what you're hearing from the probe.
Holy shit. Yeah. This
I
is
thought somebody was getting run over by a pickup truck or something.
immersive
It's
experience.
the background of space.
You turn a vacuum on.
That's what dark matter sounds like.
I
We all
wonder
got
if
vacuumed or like sucked into space.
Federation ships have Dysons.
No, they're all just Roombas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that little. Oh no, that's Star Trek or Star Wars. Oh, Tim. Tim is real bad, man.
Ooh.
Mute
Your
yourself.
microphone's way
Yourself.
too loud.
Okay, yeah. So
Is
it's
it-
definitely Tim.
Yeah.
His microphone is also really loud, like it's picking up a lot of sound. So maybe if you
Hey.
turn the volume down a bit on your pickup.
Did it change microphones? Did you have like a microphone close to the fan in your computer?
That's a loud fan.
Could have 4 fans like Stefan.
My computer's got 12.
Jesus.
Yeah. 4. Yeah. My computer has 4 fans on the graphics cards.
Yeah. Yep.
Yikes. What graphics
Or-
card do you have?
No, wait. Never mind. Each one has 3.
You running 2 graphic cards? That's a lot. Oh, bye.
2 graphics? Why do you need 2 graphics cards?
All right. So Varia's
Low
in charge of
power.
this episode.
Varya's on a planet somewhere. Counting heads. Doing admin stuff. Yeah.
Counting
Oh.
heads and cracking skulls.
Technical
Sorry, when you
difficulties.
said
Filling
counting
the time.
heads, I assumed Varia had just started like
Cracking heads?
cracking heads. That base.
Nice. I mean, perfect timing. The meeting had just ended. No, you're totally
No, we
fine.
can hear you.
We can hear you. Oh, you're muted on the Twitch? So those of you watching or listening on Twitch, welcome to the show.
This is usual.
This
Just
is
normally
normal.
we do the technical difficulties at the beginning of the stream.
Hmm.
Tim's mixing it up this time and deciding to have it right in the middle.
Right in the
He's
middle.
keeping
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
viewers on their toes.
There we go. Sorry, everybody. Thanks for your patience. And now that I've totally killed the mood, we're just going to keep going.
Oh, we did just succeed on
Yeah,
the probe
that
roll.
killed the mood. The ship exploding 5 seconds into our into the episode didn't at all.
Fine.
Okay. I actually kind of lost because where we were. So I'm sorry.
I got
we-
4 successes to connect to the probe and
Right, thank
sensor
you.
scan the asteroid.
Yep. Okay. So the probe is going to give you. You're able to find that you've got like the asteroid is like a nickel cadmium build, and it's pretty straightforward. There doesn't seem to be anything. You get the feeling the more you look at it, the feedback. The feedback might have been from the probe and the asteroid, less about the feedback. And that was all the feedback. That was my mic. It was all planned, guys. It was planned. It was the feedback on the probe. That's what it was.
Yeah, planned.
So the asteroid itself doesn't seem to be that unusual that you can tell from the readings. You're getting straight up basic, just like I said, nickel kind of like cadmium build, and I mean, you can do a deep scan if you want, but realistically, it's just an asteroid. The blast marks on the asteroid do match the blast marks of a warp explosion. But if you want more than that, you're going to have to spend momentum to gain information. And I would like to point out that Skwxwu, you're actually going to have to spend this momentum because you're working through the probe. You're not there doing it.
Yeah. That's fine. You said I had 2 momentum, so I'll give 1 to. Yeah, let's find out some more information. This seems like a very standard asteroid, but is it a standard asteroid, or does it seem like it's being made to look like a standard asteroid?
Okay, so the probe is like, it's just a probe. So it's not like got some deep scans like your ship does. But it looks to be just an asteroid. You don't get any unusual readings. Every now and then you get this weird magnetic blip that Luther saw, but you're starting to think that it's just part of the background noise of the asteroid belt, which is not unusual. Space is filled with weird signals. Like, it just does happen, right? So a good neutron star hitting at the right spot at the right time, and you'll get some weird signals. Like that happens even in our space.
Captain, on preliminary investigation, there seems to be nothing untoward on the asteroid. However, the probe is not equipped with as detailed sensor analysis as the Haida.
You mentioned that there was that magnetic blip that Luther tracked, correct?
Yes, Captain. It is unusual. However, it has been observed in some instances, other scans of asteroids of the same composition.
There's nothing unusual about the frequency that it's occurring at?
None that I can
No.
detect with the probe sensors.
So we either go back and scan it, move a post, or there's got to be something with this. How did they get away?
Do you want to use another momentum? Ask another question.
Yeah, how'd they get away? Well,
no, Skwxwu, seriously, Skwxwu, do you want to gather more information?
Yeah, I guess after the captain's question, I'm going to use the second momentum and kind of analyze this magnetic blip and see if there is like any frequency. Is it repeating in any kind of sequence or regular intervals, or is does it just look like background cosmic radiation noise?
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of broaden that just a bit so I can give you answers that you need, rather than going off on a player tangent. So as you kind of expand your sort of search of the area, like I'm assuming you kind of move the probe into the blast radius, like the center of where the explosion would have happened, and then just started like broad range scanning, right? So again, the blip that Luther saw, too many people. The blip that Luther saw is a natural blip. It is absolutely no plot reference at all. It is literally because he rolled a 0 mechanically and needed something to add a complication. So there is nothing there.
He's trying to throw us off the scent.
Scan harder.
That said, you do discover something very unusual with your scan, and that is that the isotope traces that you're detecting are consistent with machinery only. There is no signs of organic residue.
So, like,
Robot
No
Balkans.
one was on that
Android?
ship.
Decoy.
so if no one was on that ship and they arrived at a station elsewhere, that means the entire ship was a decoy, and we had to leave our position to let them through. Well, sugar pies. I don't know what to do with this information.
Even though we left our position, was there still some sensor record of, like, I'm guessing even though we chased after one vessel, the sensor net for quarantine didn't have a huge gaping hole in it in that case.
Unless we are it for quarantine. How many ships are here for quarantine with us? Are we the only?
Amount of plot. There is
Three.
a possibility. There is a
7,000.
No, there is a possibility that is not a complete impossibility that they got through. That's, I mean, you've seen weirder things happen on your, like you guys have seen weirder things happen, right? So
In our own engineering bay.
yeah,
I guess
exactly.
on the plus side, we didn't watch anybody die tonight.
How long
Cancel the
has it?
therapy sessions.
Yeah. No
Maybe not.
one
They might
died.
still
No,
do those.
no therapy for you. Get back to work. How long
Are
has
you
it been?
attached to your toaster? Get back out there.
How long has it been since we left to chase the probably lure ship?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I want to use the Haida sensors now to see if there's any kind of ionization trail left by impulse or warp engines in our current quarantine spot to basically see, did anyone slip through while we were off chasing apparently empty vessel.
Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me see if I have an answer for you. You can roll your ship. This is going to be this would be reason and science. I'll let the ship roll to assist if you wish.
Is it sensors?
It is sensors.
Yep.
Difficulty reduced by 1. We have improved sensors.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a lot of momentum. I'm going to use one.
Okay.
Yeah. Reveal all the knowledge.
You didn't even use the momentum.
Good point. I apparently didn't.
Total of 5 successes.
We went 5 successes. Jesus.
Yeah, I rolled 2 criticals.
Basically, I should just keep you away from the sensors. I have to break them every time.
Beep, boop, boop, boop. I want to know what this area of space had for breakfast.
I want to know what the speed it was traveling at during the Big Bang.
If you want, I can use my technical expertise and let the ship reroll. Maybe we'll get another crit.
I want to know the area of space's last 5 X's and their Instagram handles.
I want to know the name of the person that wrote this episode.
I want the script.
And why wasn't LeVar Burton directing?
Mm.
Okay.
That means we get the script, right?
Yeah. Okay. So.
My God, it was the old man the entire time. There was no ghost.
So you do see. I would like, you guys have played with me for long enough. I have more notes than I think I have ever made for all of this because I'm doing like both crews, and so I'm like. Anyways. You don't see any ships coming in or out through the blockade area. No.
What are the chances of us deploying a Tetrion net to see if there was any cloaked vessels going through here?
They're always. Oh, sorry, wrong accent.
That
That seems like a good idea.
I thought we were always scanning for Tetrion, so I thought that was
Yeah.
procedure now.
So, if you want to spend a momentum, I will give you an answer as to whether or not there are Romulans.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that at the start of every episode?
I will use rally.
every
because
time
I
we
will
change
spend
teams.
said momentum. Are there Romulans in this episode?
So Sam, you alone out of the crew, can maybe reluctantly for Azani, but you can pretty much confirm that the Romulans are not involved. In fact, there are reports that the Romulans and or the Klingons and possibly the Romulans are dealing with the same problem.
Cool. That killed that lead, right? Huh? It's dead in the dirt, so not Romulans. What is going on here? How did they...
I mean, so I'm gonna suggest something as the GM, and this is partly plot, partly like because you haven't thought of it yet, and I'm actually kind of surprised. You could suit up and beam down
onto the rock itself.
The asteroid?
Yeah. Well, no. So
Oh,
The station?
goddamn.
the station, like you could go talk to the person commanding the station.
See, now, this is why it would make sense for us to have an android on board, because they'd be immune.
Well,
Mhm.
so I mean, like again, if I think this is a Yazikov not being here, she would pull out those EV suits for almost anything. The EV suit would protect you. You
Two
just have to-
rules.
yeah.
Romulan.
and
EV suits.
So the EV suit will have to just be left in space, right? So you'd have to beam out from the EV suit.
Yeah, because we couldn't bring it back on the ship.
No.
Yeah, that was like my last, because I didn't want to leave my post. That was like my last, didn't want to break quarantine. My last option, because that's where they ended up. So
you still won't break quarantine, but that's kind of like the idea behind it.
mm,
Or you could send one of these guys or somebody else.
yeah,
I volunteer, Captain.
Not
So
what I
fa-
was expecting, but I'm impressed. Oh, is that Luther or not
That's
Gurkon?
Luther.
Yeah, okay.
That's Luther.
Yeah.
Gurkon's in
say-
engineering because he doesn't know any of this. He's like, gotta fix the deflector, gotta fix the goddamn tractor beam.
I was
Ain't
gonna
have any
say,
goods on board the ship.
I don't think Sofek is led away on a away mission. We could have him take a shuttle.
Richards might be a good decision, boss.
Pardon?
I said Richards might be a good decision, boss.
She
Yeah,
puts down
Richard
her
should go along,
whiskey
but
cocktail.
Sofek obviously has command. Luther, Sarah, they'll need a pilot in that shuttle, and I'm not.
So I'm gonna you can beam down.
Rhino Man's got it covered, sir.
I'm not sorry, Sam. I'm
I-
not
lead
trying to
over to-
I'm not trying to kill
I was
this,
just
but
gonna-
you're thinking way bigger. Like this is literally like you want to keep it maybe one or two people, and it's like a beam down.
Oh, okay.
Talk to who you need to talk to and get out. If you send a team down there, look at it this way: you've got 1,400 people packed into a research lab that was built for 60.
Yeah, no, I was going to send a shuttle with these people, and Sofek can lean and just beam two people down, so I can keep the ship where it's supposed to be.
You still
ship's-
can. I don't.
No,
Yeah,
we're
so
going
they
on to
don't
the
need-
space station. We're not going
they-
to the asteroid.
Yeah, no, we're
Oh.
sending them to the space. I'm sending a shuttle with people on it to the space station. They're still going to want a couple people to stay on the shuttle.
We're not docking the shuttle, is what Sam's saying.
Correct.
Okay.
We'll
Sorry.
take the shuttle. Sofek's in charge, but like two people from the shuttle can beam down. They still need a couple people to stay on the shuttle.
We don't need the shuttle though.
Why are
We
you
can
using the
transport
shuttle?
from our
then?
ship.
Is where my
Because the ship's not going.
the ship's
I gotta-
already in orbit. You're in
Of
orbit
the
around the
station?
station.
Around this
Oh,
station.
okay. I
That's
was
on the
lost
planet.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought we were in the middle of space.
No,
Anyways,
no. You've been tapping into the you used the probe
Alright.
that was still where it was. You went back to the space
all
station.
right.
Or
And
the,
then
the
So
planetary
anyways,
station.
Sofek,
Yeah.
you can go. And you should take Doug. There. you
That
take-
explained that really confusion there. I was like, yeah, that was
Yeah,
good.
I thought we were like a parsec away or something. Be like, yeah,
That's what I thought
send
too.
them.
Yeah, and I thought that the people that we're looking for are on another station.
No.
No?
Okay.
No,
So
no,
let's-
they're not. They
Let's
ended
do
up
a
where
quick
they were
let's
supposed
do a
to be.
quick
So,
recap here.
Recap.
So yeah, I'm sorry. So we're gonna blame my feedback. That just destroyed everybody. It melted everyone's brains.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're around a planet called Valdez 4. Halona Station is a research lab on the planet.
Yep.
Okay. You left the planet chasing a ship that had broken the blockade that you were surrounding the planet for. You chased it into the asteroid field. It blew up. You came back. Now you're here, and you've done some research on what was going on. You think something blew up, but no one was on board, is your theory so far. So someone is going to go down and talk to the administrator, who in kind of like logical sort of sense is the only person who really could figure out how somebody got onto and got off of the station without having any connections. So these people got on and then left. Or did they? Maybe they're still there. So the reason I suggested Sam is because you are the beta Z on board, which means you can actually like read
do
their
the brain
minds
thingy.
and get the brain thingy while you're there.
Now that I've recalibrated, it should probably be me and Vincent.
Sir.
The beta said, and the guy who used to be a spy. Probably a good idea to find some people missing amongst 1,400.
I used to be a what, sir?
What?
What?
Who? Let's
Who?
go. Get your CP suit. Meet me in transporter room 2.
Pat him on the
Uh,
chest. A great
Hi,
guy.
sir.
A great guy.
Did you say
Sofek,
get your sneakers?
you're in command of the bridge.
EV suit.
Yeah, okay.
Me?
Sofek.
Sofek.
Oh,
is in-
Sofek.
Oh my god.
So effects just over in the science station. I don't think my concussion's gone.
Sarah goes, me, Chief? Not yet. Maybe
Yeah.
one day.
Good choice, sir.
And I will
Yazikov
exit
is
stage
gone
left.
one game. One game.
Yeah, flash over to the planet. I don't know why I just have terrible headache. For the last few hours.
like,
Let's face it, we are very much an out of sight, out of mind crew.
like my bridge crew
Yaza
cried
who?
out in confusion and then
You
were
guys are so
silenced.
great. Can I transfer? I'll be instant again. It'll be fine.
Okay, and we're back. So, whew, that was
Only physically.
it has been a night, hey?
I shouldn't drink Moscow mules when we do this.
You jinxed us by saying we were on time.
Yeah.
I did. That was my fault. Yeah.
Yep.
I
This is what we
am.
get when we take our breaks on time, Tim.
Yeah, Tim.
You're right. I'm sorry. It was all my fault. How dare
Yeah.
I suggest otherwise?
And then Murphy's like, well, gonna derail the entire second half.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
With his
Okay.
law book.
So I love you guys. Let's
That's
see
good
here.
thing we're pretty.
Okay. So you beam down to the station. Station manager Kincaid meets you. She's almost 2.5 meters in height. She's from a low gravity Earth colony world that has been like, it's one of the older colony worlds.
I
And
think that's even taller than Yesikov. 3 meters, 9'9".
It's got a 6'7".
and she kind of like reaches out her hand to shake yours.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
She says, "I take it Starfleet still hasn't been able to isolate the virogen." Looking at your kind of like outfit that you're wearing.
From my most recent intelligence, not that I know of, but that is not why I am here.
She kind of like pushes some papers aside, pads clutter to the side, and then drop to the floor. Please sit if you can. She kind of looks at you awkwardly in that suit.
Well, these suits we can stand, but thank you for the courtesy. We're actually looking for 2 people that we recently attempted to detain from breaking quarantine that apparently appeared back on the station.
She frowns. Definitely. My staff tracked the chase with our deep space sensors. Your ship was the only ship to come back. I assume that they were destroyed. That's unfortunate.
The ship was destroyed, but we have reports that a Lieutenant Strawn and his partner, who was with child, arrived back here and no one seemed to know who they were. We also did a report. We checked the Federation logs, and there's no Lieutenant Strong within this sector or even assigned to any of the outposts remotely near here.
Do you kind of like had her a pad with all the details?
Yeah. We're looking for this individual. Can you help us?
It's like she looks at you like really almost with like just incredulity. She's like, a Vulcan and his pregnant human mate killed themselves.
That's why we're trying to find them, because apparently they didn't, and it's very unusual.
Okay. What do you need from me?
Access to your sensors would definitely help, or any information you can tell about where the refugees are staying, how they're being monitored. Luther, any thoughts?
We could just get a record of anybody that's transported in and out in the last 24 hours.
That too. Is there a station that we could work from with access to this information?
Yeah, she says, I mean, like, you can use mine. I and maybe a handful of other people in the station would have access to the information you're looking for.
Well, we appreciate your cooperation in this endeavor. So if we may, be appreciated.
Yeah, feel free.
You're dealing with a lot.
She kind of like starts typing in some of her commands. She says, let's see, what does she say? Yeah, I mean, like, so she starts typing in commands. She's like, I mean, in the dormitories, somebody would definitely have noticed a Vulcan and a human mate. That those are not as common as people like to think that they are.
Well, I could go ask around. If Luther, you're better with sneaky sensor stuff that we don't talk about, right? Wink. I give him a wink.
Luther doesn't see any of this. He's trying to figure out the controls on the computer. Control, Alt, Apple key.
As you hit the Apple key, she kind of like pushes your gloved hand aside. Like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to find the music player so I could work better.
Jesus. Computer, Orion Opera.
Oh, computer, 20th century rock and roll.
Jesus.
Earth rock and roll.
Yeah. Please specify planet.
You keep at it. I'll be back. I'm gonna go to the refugee sector.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Luther's going to actually do a quick security scan of the entire station for anybody that's Vulcan.
Sure.
I'm assuming that's reason and science. Yay.
Yeah, reason and science. There is no help from the computer on this one.
Is there any momentum?
There is momentum. There is 5 momentum.
I will use 1 because the music has got him feeling groovy.
Mm-hmm.
4
Holy
successes.
shit, Luther! What?
I picked
I rolled
Luther
a
rolled a critical.
I rolled a nat 1.
Wow. Luther, go. All right, Luther. Yeah, there were Vulcans on the station. You've got 2 momentum. Would you like to spend 1 to gain
Are there
information?
Yeah, I want 1 to know if there's any currently on the station.
There are lots. Pick a number. This is one of those plot number things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, there are Vulcans still in the station.
And I will relay this information to the captain as to where they are on board.
I will tell you what. Spend.
Maybe send the other one to find a pregnant lady.
Yeah. Okay. So as you start searching, there are 22 Vulcans. None are missing.
Okay.
And there are no pregnancies at all on this station. Not just human. None.
We'll point that out to the captain. The captain, there appears to be 22 Vulcans on the station. None are missing. There ain't nobody pregnant on board.
What? I guess I could go ask the Vulcans if they've seen a pregnant lady, or at least someone who looks pregnant.
I mean, if there's a doctor on board, maybe they'd be looking out for the pregnant lady if there's anybody that was pregnant.
So like SOP, standard operating procedure would have been like that. They would have had to go through like wide range inoculation to be refugee on the station, right? Like as people came in, they would inoculate because they didn't know what they were dealing with at the time, and they would have been registered as it was. So they would have been like anyone coming in at the transporter pads, they beamed in, or at the airlocks as they transferred in from the shuttles.
Which means they would have to take names, medical records, all
Right,
of that stuff.
and that's why they would have record of this if this person existed. So she's kind of giving you like an odd look right now. All the shuttles are accounted for.
Which means if there was somebody who fit this description, they came on here via other means.
How many people are supposed to be on the station, Tim?
Oh,
60?
It's built for 60.
But how many people are registered to be in it right now?
1,400-ish.
Okay, and there's no way to check the scanner to see if that number's in any discrepancy with any of the numbers of people that have come in. Because I'm thinking, Captain, that if maybe they weren't getting out, maybe they were coming on, sneaking in rather than sneaking out.
Yeah, you pursue that. I'm going to go ask the Vulcans if they've seen, or I'll go to the Vulcan section and see if we can. I'll ask around and see if they've seen anybody of that description.
Okay.
Description we're looking for. Yeah. I'll start asking questions.
By the way, crew on the ship, if you have any ideas, feel free to like. I would imagine because EV suits are kind of cool. It's the one rare instance where Luther and Zanny can have conversations with the three of you without anyone else knowing what they're saying. So you guys can be on open comms and actually like chime in. So I think that would be a good way to make sure everyone's involved. Because we're kind of dealing with a whodunit, and sometimes it's easier to kind of like try and figure it out, and sometimes it's easier to kind of like, hey, somebody help me. Right? So if you have an idea, feel free to like say so, and we'll just play it in as it's coming out on the internal comm system. Okay.
I had a separate question. Yezikov was on the other ship. Is Yezikov here?
No, Yezikov is not here.
Thank you. I had to triple check that before I do.
Different planet, different ship, different place. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So the research station's on the planet.
Not good.
Is the rest of the planet, is it habitable? Could people survive out off site?
They could, but the research station was built to detect certain events, and so it's got like an environmental shield around it, which would prevent like atmospheric interference and beam-ins, stuff like that. But it's not like a ship shields, like it's not super strong. It's there for more environment and to like benefit and save the station from any kind of damage. There are some planetary flora and fauna, but it too has been infected. There's like this station used to be like the planet used to have like this really cool like algae mist that surrounded the whole place. So the planet itself, like think like algae in the ocean, there was atmospheric algae, and it would range from like turquoise blues to greens, and now it's just all like brown and dead. So the planet is definitely taking a hit from the infection.
Hey, Sofik, do we still have that phone call from the Vulcan? Maybe we can scan the phone call to see where it came from. If it didn't come from the shuttle.
Yeah, it could have been a relayed communication.
Can you do computers to it?
I can, as you say, do computers to it.
That might help the boys.
So this is going to be this is going to be an insight and command, or security. It's going to be insight and security, because you're tracking like communication relays, right? So you're bouncing. So it's not science. Sorry, friend. And insight because you're trying to sort it out. You're trying to like investigate different possibilities. So you can work on that. I'm gonna say it's actually like an extended task. So you got to make a couple saves before you're gonna get an answer.
All right.
So you can make one right now, and then your momentum you're gonna hang on to specifically. I'm not gonna add it to the pool, so that you can use it on your next roll if you need it for the future things. That was a good idea, Leah. What about the rest of you? Anyone else have any thoughts? Sam, you're off talking to the Vulcans. I'm going to let you do that for the moment. Luther, you're eating.
I'm
He's
looking at
slurping.
Quick
Skwxwu.
determination.
I'm looking at Skwxwu rolls.
Right. Okay. And then
Laughing.
Doug, you got any ideas?
No, not really. I was thinking maybe if you need to intimidate somebody, you could turn your magnetic boots on. The sound of those magnetic boots would be very intimidating to somebody.
It would be. You're not going anywhere with those.
Yeah, I mean, you can walk around still, though.
End up being like one of those bubble balls.
But for Luther, I'm going to keep tracking all the Vulcans and keep relaying their whereabouts to the captain. If there's any one that's separate from them, maybe.
Well, the thing is in space, right? So there's only two ways onto a spaceship or a space station. It's shuttle or beam. So if all the shuttles are there, then maybe go talk to the guy in beaming. That's the place in the beaming where they do the beaming place.
So here's another sort of like possibility. You're on the right track, Leah, but sorry, Sarah. But there's also Sofak and Zanny and Luther. You don't actually get. There is like no one has any recollection of this, and tracking the Vulcans is just ending up being like a
Dead end.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a dead end.
So nobody on here recognizes that there was a Vulcan with his pregnant wife on this station at any given point.
No, that's exactly it.
You think this is a red herring down here, Captain? That they were never here?
Maybe, but what's the point?
What about the ship?
The ship they were on.
Where did this ship come from? Yeah,
There you
if all the shuttles are here, where did the ship that they were on come from?
Wasn't it an old Starfleet ship? It had old codes to it. Sofag had a hell of a time getting in there.
They were redone codes, not old. But
What,
again,
what,
Different.
yeah.
They were modified, but if it's,
Lieutenant Sofek, what matter of class was that vessel that we encountered?
Sofek, it was a cruiser explorer, so a modified Saber.
Did
That
you get a name
size?
on it? Did we ever get a name, or
Yeah, the USS Man.
can we get the record of that vessel?
Sofag's a bit busy, but I could give it a shot.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go meet up with the captain and maybe come back up.
How hard could computering be?
Do you want to talk to Kincaid about the ship first, Captain, or are you good?
yes, I was gonna say I don't want to go up just yet. Let's ask
Okay.
them about. I want because they have a record of the shuttles, but what about all the ships?
Yeah.
that
All
have
right.
come and gone.
So Sarah, give me. You're doing search on this on the computer, research and science, reason and science. Sofek, you got zeros on that insight and security. You're not having much luck in
Yep.
this first round. Do you want to try again?
Yep, I'm going to use the determination. I'm going to remove the variables.
Okay. Are you using it on that last roll to re-roll, or are you using it on this upcoming roll to get a success?
Using it on this upcoming roll to get a success.
All right. Do you want to use any momentum as well?
Yeah, I'll use one.
Okay.
Actually, remember to use one. Yeah, so 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. All right. So, Feck, you got one more check you're gonna have to do. You found the sort of pathways, and you're gonna be able to you're like, oh, okay, I see a bounce, and now you got to try and find out where it bounced from. Looks like Sarah's theory might have been right. It might have been bouncing off of the ship itself. Sarah, your research gave you 1, right?
Yeah.
and you were trying to figure out the Bennett
Yeah.
or the Manly. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
The ship that exploded.
Yeah. So it's been here from the beginning. It was part of the original equipment allotment for the station.
Okay. So it was a part of the station.
Yep. You could relay that to.
Yeah.
Now, here's the weird thing, Sam. Sarah would actually know this too because she's a pilot, right? So a Saber class is like a fighter. The cruiser escorts are like they're small fighter style ships. It is very strange that it would be set to a scientific research station.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you do see like actual Starfleet allocation. Like it was allocated to this station.
So it's a real thing, but there's no reason it should be here in the first
Very
place.
weird.
Basically.
Yeah.
It was a Saber class?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was our first ship.
That was your first ship.
Exactly.
Super
that
strange
ship hit
that it's
hard.
here.
Yeah, it did. But there's no
Yes.
reason it should be here or landed for a research part. So I want to go ask.
Yeah, you're having this
Director.
conversation as you open the door to Manager Kincaid's office.
Yeah. I
Ah,
want.
Captain Zanny, I trust your investigation is going well.
That depends on your perspective. But I do have a couple of questions that maybe you can shed some light on.
Yeah, anything I can do to help.
The suspect we're pursuing seemed to have been in a Saber class vessel, which is a registered Starfleet vessel, but when we attempted to access it, the command codes had been changed from its original meaning. And a Saber class is quite an odd vessel to have at a research station such as this. Do you know of any reason why that ship may have been here? Or do you have a record of any ship of that nature?
Yeah, she's got a record of the Manly. She kind of hands it out to you. She's like, yeah, the ship was it wasn't part of our solar mission. It was part of the terraforming mission. It was
Sure. How long ago was this planet terraformed?
So Valdez 4 was a candidate for terraforming. So it already had a native ecosystem. So it does have like lots of atmospheric animals. Had the mists themselves were kind of like, so basically remember the atmospheric algae I told you about?
Yeah.
Itself was kind of like quite a thing. So yeah, so the ship was designed to, it was modified to scoop samples from the atmosphere and then transfer them to other pilot projects, because the algae here was like oceanic algae, right? So
Right.
lots of oxygen producing. So if you could implant some of the algae into other plants, you'd be able to like quickly terraform a planet, because you're like actually encouraging atmospheric growth naturally rather than artificially.
Do we have the original manifests for the Manly? Like who would have been operating that ship and when it was, I guess, decommissioned at this station? Is that all in the logs?
You could find it, yeah. It's
I'm guessing there's no strom assigned to it.
No, sorry.
All right.
Nice try though.
Search for Spock. Terraforming. Really? Okay, so they turned a fighter class into essentially a big excavator.
Yeah.
A flying excavator. Okay.
She said, but it never left the system. Once the virogen seemed to establish itself in the mist, the quarantine started, and here we are.
And it was docked here then? Or sorry, it was not docked here. It wouldn't have been docked. It's a ship, but it was just floating?
It was in orbit, yeah.
It was in orbit and unmanned.
Yeah, as far as I know. So she kind of pulls up schematics of it, and you can see where there's like it's small enough that like it, like you guys flew a Saber, so it was small enough that you can go into atmospheric flight, and you can see the outlines of like these sort of two large pods underneath the undercarriage, and she's like, they're sampling tanks.
Cool.
pressurized nozzles, venting chambers, built-in transporter links for transfer of holding tanks to the pilot projects.
Cool. Where was it moored? Like in orbit? Did it have? Was it in a
Standard
geosynchronous
orbit.
Standard orbit.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask Herb if he can spot if anything was where it was supposed to be moored? Like, is there any? I know Sofek's busy doing whatever he's doing. Someone asked Herb, you think you could have a look around that area where it was supposed to be floating, see if there's anything unusual?
Yeah, you can send your ship there, no problem. That's
Yeah.
Tim, not Manager Kincaid.
Yeah, no, I'm asking the ship to do that, inspect.
Okay.
But I couldn't ask Sofek since he's busy. He's not answering my phone calls right now, even though I'm supposed to be in charge of the ship. So I'm going to call Herb.
Okay.
Want me to scan for it or go there?
Well, go there, take a look, and scan. We're not going anywhere. I look at Luther, right?
I don't know where we would go. Unless you want to go for a walk, Captain. Might be nice outside.
Yeah, we could go for a stroll. But yeah, could you go have a look, see?
Sure.
Okay.
Awesome.
So you're heading over to where it should have been. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes.
Okay.
Sending.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing there. It's
space.
space. Yeah.
Scan around a bit. See maybe what had happened.
I
Throw
get
a-
up from
throw
my
a scanner.
console and I just like kind of look around the like view screen. Looks like space, sir.
It's just standing there.
Thanks, Sarah.
We just got to do like they did in the first couple of seasons of Next Generation. Just have Geordi look out a window.
Oh God, I remember that. I actually kind of like that they did that every now and then. I thought it was a clever idea.
It would work with Kirk Cowan because he's got the cybernetic eye patch thing.
Oh God, he does. I forgot about
Speaking
that.
of which, you mind giving it a quick scan of the area, see if there's anything unusual readings, transporter
Okay.
signals, any of,
Scan away.
anything you can't see with your eyes. I'm grasping at straws.
Matt, what's your reason in science? Because mine's not great.
That's pretty good.
So
Okay, you do the scanning.
I'll let you three roll as you're doing that. Sofek, you're having issues pinpointing that last location. 3 is not enough.
Oh.
Can the ship help?
No, not in this case. Yeah, because he's not doing a research. He's actually like trying to trace something. So the ship itself isn't.
Please tell me I'm at least adding to the 3 I already have, right?
You haven't taken away from it. Like you're not. You're just.
Okay,
You're
good.
just not able to. Like you're like, oh God, it's bouncing. That theory was good.
Crew can support. You have an engineer on board.
Well, we've established that your engineer is like trying to fix stuff, but yeah, you could try and tap into the engineer.
You could literally be like, "Can we get some extra gain on these sensors or something?"
Yeah. Sorry. What are you guys looking for on your like Matt and Leah? What are you looking for right now?
Anything?
Anything?
God,
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Okay. So I think we're starting to get into one of those like we know there's something here and we're just not making the dots, and so I'm gonna throw you another bone. Not like I pity you, just like here it is. So
To do with the pods, isn't it?
yeah. So
Wait, did it have pods on it when we blew up?
no.
Where are those pods?
Yeah, good question.
I say Luther's saying this out loud. Because I don't remember seeing those pods on the ship when we were at it stuck on the tractor beam, sir.
Would they have released the pods before?
We would have seen it the entire way. We caught it in the atmosphere first, and then we caught it in the. So
where are they?
not only did it have missing pods, somehow it had destructive minds on board. Not unusual loadout for a science vessel.
And they rewritten the code too.
They've rewritten the code.
taken over. So
And as you're
Whoa.
looking through the files on the ship, you see that it did do a few runs into the planet's atmosphere. So even though this ship never left the planet, like it never left the system,
It was going into
it
the
had
atmosphere to
done
scoop
multiple
up things.
runs to sweep up this algae, even though it never left the system.
which means those pods would have had to have something in them.
And
Joey,
there was nothing organic in the explosion.
can we get the ship to search
Sentient
the-
algae, I got it. That's it. I figured it out.
Can we get the ship to scan for those pods, sir?
Yep, totally can. Herb,
Scanning. What do I roll for that?
You're gonna roll reason and science, and the ship can assist.
Okay.
The ship makes it one easier as well.
Thank you.
Deuce.
Ship doesn't support, but it made it one easier. 'Cause
Well,
it's
the 2 is
improved.
what you needed.
Okay.
So as you're searching, the pods are just over there. They're off, kind of like where like in between where the ship should be and on the way to the asteroid belt.
they're just floating in the middle of space.
Well, I mean, space is really, really, really big, and if you had not been looking for something like this, you never
Yeah.
would have seen it.
In other words, they're floating in the middle. Okay.
Check them out.
I'd like to, but I'd like to be there when you do it. Can you come back and grab me and Luther? We'll have to be beamed directly out of our EV suits.
And before you get a chance to finish, as you finish that sentence, you just hear coming from outside, "I am so sorry, Captain." Luther and Captain Zanny, both of your suits are torn open by a plasma torch. You can feel it slashing your back of your suits. And that is where we're going to fade to black.
Kill some people.
This never would have happened if Yezikov was here. None of this. Bullshit.
Yeshikov would have brought her bulletproof vest out.
Yeah.
They would have tried to slash her with a plasma torch and been like, "Really?
No one
That weak-
sneaks up on
That weak
Yezikov.
sauce? Smash!"
Yezikov sneaks up on you.
We're gonna do the two of you are kind of like caught off guard. We're gonna say that it's like that kind of like impact of
Somebody could have just walked up with a scalpel and done it.
yeah, and then you feel like a good swift kind of kick to the lungs, knocking you both out, just for effect because I need you kind of like conscious. So we'll say that you're hypo sprayed. You were focused, so I'm just kind of taking that advantage from you.
An actual needle.
I'm using my threats.
All of them. Most
Yeah.
of them.
I don't use it very often, so there you go.
Sex. GM Tim.
You're welcome. That's it. That's where we end. That's where we fade. We will be back in 2 weeks with the USS Reneganthan, and they will continue on with this story. And then in another 2 weeks after that, we'll be back with this crew to see if Zanny and Luther can survive.
Oh, don't worry.
Gonna blow people's minds. No?
Dun, dun, dun. Please, gang, take note. You have 3 momentum. I'm going to let you hang on to those momentum when we come back. And it's the same determination. We're not resetting. So we're actually to be continued more than we ever have been before. So whatever you've got, that's what you've got. Anyone watching, thank you very much. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Live long and prosper, everybody. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.